What's up, guys? I'm here with Noiz.I Talks today. I'm gonna be in the kitchen making a little traditional dish, some plantains. I got some shrimp. I'm gonna make an avocado crema, a little spicy pico, just so he gets a feel of that, Caribbean, Hispanic island kind of vibe today with what I'm making. So it's gonna be probably like 15-20 minutes worth of cooking, but also while we're doing this, we're going to be asking questions, so I get to know him, he gets to know me. This is our first time really hanging out and really getting to know each other.
All right, we are back with another episode of Noiz.I Talks with Friends.
Yes, sir.
And this is very interesting because today we're doing a different setup, people. We're doing a different setup. I have my friend Dwayne over there, as you can see. He is a chef. Explain a little bit real quick. Well, actually, let me do the background real quick. Okay. Yeah. So my friend Dwayne's a chef. We met playing basketball at a local gym that we go to, and we played in a little league. He was in a video of mine early on in the year. But this is someone that I've grown to know over the last few months, and just like how serious we are about our lives and our careers and how we're moving about. So yeah, this one is very interesting because he is also cooking today. So you're going to see a whole bunch of different points of views, and he is interviewing me on his channel, and I'm interviewing him on my channel. Indeed. So we're gonna have a two-parter. First half is going to be him cooking, and we're asking each other questions, and then second half we'll be moving on to outside. But today you have
Before the Fame Wayne, aka Wayne. Just
Wayne is in the building.
Wayne's in the building.
Wayne's in the building. I'm super excited about today. And, bro, we're professional, guys, because, look, we have the cards today. We have the cards for me. We have the cards today. So, yeah, very excited. But I think we're going to do, since we have 6 questions each, we're going to do 3 in the first half, and the part 2, we're going to have another set of 3. So, Dwayne's going to start with his first questions. Here we go.
Okay, let's get right into it. So as I'm asking these questions, guys, I'm going to be cooking. So first I'm going to wash my hands because obviously staying clean is a necessity when you're in the kitchen.
Important, people. It is very important.
Start by washing my hands, guys. I might be off camera just for 1 second.
I'm actually very excited, guys. This has been something we've talked about for the last few weeks, so very excited, very excited.
Should have probably grabbed a towel, which I did because I'm a smart man.
Because we're smart over here.
I'm a smart man, so I got my kitchen towel so I could wipe my hands and things of that nature. But okay, guys, today I'm gonna start off with the shrimp. I'm gonna de-peel it, so I'm just gonna take the tails off the shrimp. It's super easy. So I'm gonna have it right on the cutting board. I'm gonna just throw it into the sink because why not? I could just pick it up whenever I need to. Throw it right in the sink. Okay, so while I'm doing this, I'm going to ask him a question, and it's going to be a really interesting question because I'm trying to get to know Zion a little bit more as a person. And
he said my name right, by the way, because some people be butchering it, so I just want to say thank you, Wayne, for saying my stuff right. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I've had a couple of friends named Zion, so
I'm not that special. Dang it.
So,
dang it.
Nah, Zion is really cool, man. He's a good person. So I think today is gonna be like an intro to me meeting him as a person, and also just on another level, as in not like a spiritual level, but as a person that I see who is motivated and wants to help themselves by helping other people. So
for sure.
I'm gonna start my question with what would you tell yourself now, or what would you tell your younger self now that you wish you knew then or today?
What would I tell my younger self now that I wish I knew then? Or today?
Today.
What would I tell my younger self now that I knew today?
Yeah.
Am I not understanding that question correctly?
So what would you tell your younger self now that you wish you knew
then, right?
Yes.
Okay,
then.
you said
my bad.
I was today. What I would tell my younger self now that I wish I knew then.
Yes.
It's just being more open about communication. Growing up for me, I have a very big family, and every time we come around each other, it's mostly holidays and all that stuff. But I really had to dig deep to figure out them more as I grew up, because then I started to realize, there's different stuff that's going on within the family. A lot of family members are they shun away from problems, or even friends shun away from problems, and like we've never had the I'm not gonna say we never had the ability. Oh no. Okay. I'm not gonna say we never had the ability, but we never took the time to really just talk to each other. So communication is number one. Number two, I would have told myself to do YouTube or like any type of content creation at that age, just because like seeing people who have done it for 10 years, and not necessarily for the success, but I wish I would have done more creation especially with video stuff when I was younger, because then I'll be able to keep going into the stuff that I'm doing today, and then I can just grow overall. And what else? I guess lastly will be two more things. One thing is really understanding what hard work is. Like, just because you do something for a day and then like you expect it, or you expect a result the next day, that's never going to happen. Ever. So really understand what hard work is and actually do it. And if you love to do something, just do it. Don't do it because of the acceptance of people or whatever. Like, just do it because you love to do it. And then lastly, create a relationship with God outside of what people taught you, because people really don't understand how big religion affects people, especially if it's forced on people. And not saying that it was ever forced on me, but like we were taught to go to church every day, to dress a certain way, to make sure that we're at every Bible class, every Bible study, every Sunday service, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And that kind of made me go away from religion. And then like I didn't know God, but he always knows me, but I didn't know him because I never created that relationship.
For sure.
So now I'm understanding, creating my own personal relationship with God and just doing that. So hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
I think a lot of your points are very valid for a lot of young men. I think starting to know what you want to do at a young age can be very beneficial to your career and what you want to do with. But half of the time, people don't know what they want to do. Like, you're stuck in a loop of just working these jobs that you don't even like. You don't want to wake up and go to these jobs. And to be able to like know what you want to do in the future is like so beneficial. Like, especially when you know at a young age like where you want to be and what you want to do, and also making a bond with God at a young age. Like, I had opportunities to make my peace and believe in a higher power, and I've had opportunities to go to church, and I've done church. I've read a little bit of the Bible. I haven't like really studied or gotten into it, but I think like for you and for me, it's kind of different. I feel like faith, you can either have faith in your God, or you can just have faith in general. Faith for me is just being open-minded and being hopeful, and being consistent and staying faithful to what like myself is, my true self, and talking to like you probably pray, you talk to him, you have your own bond with him, and it's the same for me, but just in a different way. And I want to start getting into religion or anything really that just like helps me cope with any problems that I have that I can discuss with someone else.
And like so a couple points. So faith is a big thing, because it's like you have to understand what you're having faith in first and foremost. So like let's even take it back to just general faith. Like, when you have faith in something, you are hopeful, and you know that it's going to eventually happen, or it's eventually going to make it better or whatever. But having faith in yourself first, and God first, helps you have faith in yourself. Mm-hmm. Because it's like, with, human, like the way I'm about to say this is going to be weird.
Yeah.
But like, with like, human form, I was about to say flesh, human form, doesn't really amount to the faith, within God, just because you see how much it expands everything else in your life. And that, I'm speaking that from just firsthand, and like, to encourage you to I would say stay away from religion and just look more into, different Bible verses. So like something that has helped me recently is downloading the Bible app and kind of like, they always do like the verse of the day. Yeah. And I try to use that to apply to like my week or my day. And it's helped a lot because like now my thinking is different and now everything else is different. So I really appreciate that being a resource. But having the support in what you have faith in also helps because like you can't do everything on your own. So like people who understand what you're doing or trying to do, that helps a lot as well.
For sure. All right. Now, moving on to our next question. So, if you could give anything to the world, what would it be?
Bro, that was one of my questions, you jerk.
Really, it was?
Yes, bro. I think that was... Yes, bro. That was question number 5, 6, 4... Yeah, I think it was like 5, 6, or whatever. So, we'll just ask each other that question real quick. Okay. So ask it one more time.
So, if you could give anything to the world, what would it be?
If I could give anything to the world, what would it be?
Where did that other plantain go?
It's over there on the thing.
Huzzah.
What would I give to the world? You know what? This may be an answer that like maybe sounds selfish, but I'm just going to answer it on how I do best. What I would give to the world is my music. And the reason why I say that is because like when I have done music with people or for people, I can see how it changes their mindset, how it changes their ability, how it changes their whatever. And I take no credit for that, for number one. But I also just think about like how music is what's the word I'm looking for? Music is... Jeez, I just drew a blank. I'll just go basic. But like music is everything. It's how we communicate. It's how we understand. It's how we relate. So I think giving a healing aspect of music is something that I want to give to the world, especially with like all these different projects that I'm currently doing with my friends and family. Like I can see the impact it can have on the world. There's nothing that I want to give to the world to make it a better place, because I feel like that just comes back to communication, and that's something that we have to understand is like we have to actively listen to each other. But giving something to the world, it would definitely just be music, because I love performing. I love seeing people react to how everything is and how everything so yeah, I would say music, honestly.
Okay.
So you have to ask the same question, because that was one of my questions. That wasn't question number one, but okay. Yeah. So I think mine was like the same way. So hold on.
So, and to go on your topic, like music is a stamp in time. Like you drop a song, that's forever. Like you make something, it's forever. You create something, it's forever. And when you bring something to the world that's creation of your own mind, it's kind of like special. Yeah. And like everyone's different. Like they have we have our own fingerprints. We have our own footsteps, like footprints. Like that's your mark, that's your stamp. And music is a great way to do that. Like
because like again, going back to like communication, like it's my form of communication. It's like I can put love into music and people understand it. You can put love into food and people understand it and feel it. So it's like I want to use that as my sort of communication. But so my same question, worded a little differently, was if you could change anything in the world, what would it be? So yours was give, and mine was what would you change?
What would I change? I would change the way people view money. I think money is just something that it just divides people. Like we wouldn't have as many conflicts, such as like people getting robbed, or people having to steal, or people having to worry about living day to day, or even eating. Like that's something that like people take for granted when they do have money. Like not everyone has the food or the materials to work with, and it's like if you give someone the opportunity to show them their full potential without them having to worry about money, I think could be a lot greater opportunity for people, and a lot more people would be willing to show their true self. And I feel like money just hides that, because that's all people can think about in the moment, because they don't, because I caught it. Thank God. Because people don't have the finances to think about what they want to do with their future. Like, they're always worrying about the next paycheck, the next meal, the next thing for my child.
Jesus,
or like, money's just, if I could change anything, it would be to take away money and people communicate better with like a barter system, or some type of system that would work out a lot better for, you know, generations to come, where people just help each other, and it's not just all about me, and what I need and what I need.
Yeah,
so
yeah, because like at the end of the day, bro, like money is a piece of paper, bro.
It is.
You rip it up, it becomes nothing. So it's like understanding that money, even though in our society, in American society, or just in society in general, money is status. Status doesn't mean anything when you're dead.
100%.
So it's like, what does your soul really want? What does your soul really need? It's not money. it's the relationships with people. It's the communication with people. And like, that's what we're here for, is to love each other. But once we put that revenue, or that I forget what word you use, but that currency on it, then it becomes like, oh, you don't have anything. Oh, you blah 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 blah.
And then it divides people.
And like that's something that bothered me as a kid, because it's like, you know, me coming, I'm not gonna say from the inner city, but from not what white people were, you know, exposed to. Then I look broke. Then I look and then when I look at them, I'm like, wow, they have nice cars. They have blah 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 blah. But I'm like, at the end of the day, I went through what I went through emotionally, traumatically as a child. They're going through that as adults, and like, that's something that I've appreciated, because it's like, now they're at a disadvantage. And not saying that like that's something I want to expose them about, but it's like, I appreciate what I had now when I was a kid, because it's like, I had what I had, and like, I had the ability to still do. I had the same chances as them. I had the same, and it's like, you know, you start really thinking about how money changes people. And that's something that I've never wanted, was, you know, to feel like I'm being changed by money. But yeah, that's a great question. So can I ask you my second question?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, dope. So so this question was kind of like question number one, but we're gonna go straight to question number two. So question number two, for Dwayne, what matters to you in your life? And like, that is a very broad statement, so I kind of want you to be, whatever.
I'm gonna elaborate in multiple ways, but I would say, what's most important to me?
What matters to you?
What matters to me?
Yeah.
I would say family's really big. I've lost a lot of family members. Recently lost my mom. Lost my grandfather. You know, my dad was never in the picture, so my siblings are really like what's important to me. I helped raise my two younger sisters, so I think my older brother's in the picture now. He wasn't for a long time, but he's here as a big brother, and he's, you know, stepped up, and he's helped me out in multiple ways where I just, you know, needed him the most. And I think family, just being able to spend time with your family and telling everyone that you care about them is super meaningful. And I really want to say that, you know, family is super important. And besides family, just like, you know, my career, and then the family I'm starting currently with my girlfriend, about to have a child.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Due in a couple weeks. I'm going to be a freaking girl father.
Let's go, you know, girl dad.
Let's go. Her name's Nalani. But yeah, I would say family is super important to me. It's not even like money. Like, I mean, money can go a long way, but it's definitely not essential for me to like live my day-to-day life and like what I want to do. So I would say family's probably the most important to me.
And then like kind of, because you have two losses.
Yep.
And like, you know, how does that help you create or build the relationships that you do have with your family now? Like you just said, your brother just came back in the picture.
Yeah.
So like how does losing them kind of either help, or how does that make who you are today? Because, you know,
for sure,
like a lot of people, they either have their moms, or even the people who don't have their moms, like they're kind of messed up mentally or physically and stuff like that. So like, how did that shape who you are today, and grandfather as well?
So my grandfather was, you know, super hilarious. Just a like a character. We would always joke around and say that he had 9 lives because nothing could kill this guy. Literally, he's been in motorcycle accidents where he's like flipped a bunch of times. He's been hit by a crane. He's been shot. He's had both of his lungs scraped, one of his lungs removed. What else? He's been in bar fights to where he's been stabbed and stuff like that. So I've seen this guy in the hospital so many times and just like come out of it like nothing happened, just unscathed. And he was just a great person, like the funniest old guy you could ever meet. Like, had so many stories, just unbelievable things that he would just tell us. And yeah, he was just a great person to be around. And me and my brother, my grandfather, he used to like fall asleep a lot in like in the living room and shit. And me and my brother, when we were kids, we'd always mess with him. And there was this one time he fell asleep while he was eating food, and me and my brother fucking ran behind him, and we put tennis balls in his back, we put French fries in his ears. Yeah, we would just mess with him. Yeah, to the point where he just chase us, and he chased us in the closet one time. My brother ran out, and he turned around, and I ran out, and then we locked him in the closet.
Jerks, bro. You guys
I know.
Jerks.
We were bad kids. We were bad kids. But it was all fun. I mean, he did the same shit. He would do the same stuff to us. So it was just like my grandfather was like a big influence in like, you know, the man I am today, and like how to be a man, and, you know, taught me to like, you know, do the basic stuff, change tires, do stuff that like was essential. And he was just a great part of my life. And when he passed away, you know, my mom was devastated and stuff, and 2 months later, my mom passed away right after her father. So I was at a music festival, actually, Okeechobee, with all my friends and stuff, and my grandfather was a very spiritual guy. He used to go to music festivals. He used to, you know, with my grandmother, and they would go out and, you know, have these experiences. Like, they lived a very hippie lifestyle, as, you know, as most people would call it, but they just wanted to explore themselves, explore their mind a little bit. And the craziest part is, you know, my grandfather passed away while I was at the festival, and I felt like not because I was on mushrooms or anything, but I felt his spirit there with me when he passed away, and it was almost like it was meant to be, just like with my mother. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Just like with my mother, she was living with me at some point, and then she left me for a little bit of time because some things happened in my household that, you know, just weren't, you know, acceptable in my opinion. And I just felt like I could, you know, I just felt like I didn't want to see my mom, you know, pass away at my house. So she just left without really communicating to me, and she didn't really talk to me for like a year. And then out of the blue one day, I think it was a week before I moved up to Ohio to start my new career, start a new life up here, I was visiting my family, just, you know, visiting my grandma, my sister, my brother, and just making my rounds to all my friends and my family before I left. And then out of nowhere, probably the day before I left, my mom comes out of nowhere, and we have an hour-long conversation about like what's been going on in my life and what I'm about to do. And it gives me chills to this day that like right a week after, right when I move up here, my mom passes away, and I haven't seen her for like a year or 2 years. And it was like God telling me, or something telling me, that, you know, you were meant to see your mother before she passed away. So
jeez, yeah,
it was really, you know, heart like wrenching experience. But I felt like, you know, she was going through a lot of pain, a lot of suffering. So it was really good to see her, and like I enjoy that memory, and I enjoy that talk we had before she passed away. And the craziest part is my daughter is supposed to be born on the day that my mother passed away. So it's almost like she's being reincarnated into my daughter, and, you know, which is just like, I've had the weirdest like timing experiences.
Yeah, for sure.
And just like the universe aligning in weird ways to where it's like such weird coincidences that like it just doesn't make sense. Like I don't know, but I'm pretty sure that, you know, this was all planned in some type of way, and God has something special in store for, you know, me and my family and stuff.
It's very heartwarming in a sense to kind of hear what you've went through, because luckily for my family, I've never had death in the family besides a great grandmother. So like now I'm in the phase of life, and I've spoken about this before, where I do have a fear of like when people do pass away, like I wouldn't been able or didn't make the effort to make communication or a relationship with them like, you know, first thing. And that's something that I am trying to do recently now, because like I'm in a group chat with, you know, my mom's side, my dad's side. I have a cousin group chat. I have a cousin group chat, just to make sure like they know, hey, I'm present, I'm here, I would love to come see you, I would love to come, you know, whatever. And like that's so important to me because of I don't want to leave any lost words, no lost moments, no lost memories because I didn't try. So man, that I have no rebuttal for that. I just just listening to you, bro.
I appreciate you listening, man. It's not often that I, you know, tell my story and like share with people, so it's really appreciated that I get the experience to like come out and just tell you guys how I feel and stuff. And you know, it's been a weird transition for me, but it's almost been kind of peaceful to where like I've accepted everything that's happened, and I know like where to go from here in the future. And it's been enlightening in some type of way that I can see that, you know, my mom and my grandfather aren't in pain anymore, and they were both going through a lot of health issues. So it's just so surreal, like losing your parents. And then on top of that, my sister doesn't have a father either. Her father passed away while she was sleeping next to him.
What?
And then she found my mom passed away. So she found both of her parents passed away. My younger sister, after my mom passed away, he showed up to the funeral right with his wife. And 2 months later, my younger sister's dad committed suicide. Like, fucking crazy. And then my older brother lost both of his parents. His dad died when he was 7. And then I'm the only person with one parent left, which is like, just blows my mind that like, you know, all my siblings, all of our like family members are like gone. So like the importance of family in any lifestyle, you could have your parents, have your, you know, have your friends, have your family, or even friends that you call family. Like, tell them that you love them every day, because you never know when the last time you're going to see somebody is. And it's like, bro, so surreal in my life. The
importance of family and the importance of you, Dwayne, bro. And like, because you're a staple in what you're doing and what you're doing in your life, and like the people who are near you, close to you, family, friends, like they need you, bro. And now that you have a daughter coming in, like she needs you too. So it's like, just understand how big your impact is in your life, and just continue to create those relationships with those people, because like you just said, you never know. So I just encourage you to keep going, bro. And I'm gonna pray for this dude, bro, because Jesus.
Dude.
Yeah, but it's on your question. I think you're on question number 3.
Yeah.
If you're ready to move on, I'm not trying to force you to do nothing.
Yeah, of course I am. I mean, death happens, life happens. Like, there's nothing I can do about it but just accept it, and you know, like, still keep the memories and fond times that I've had with, you know, family members, friends that are gone. So, I mean, it's hard. You know, some days are harder than others, but it's just the way of life. But yeah, so let's move on to the next question, since that was so fucking so sad. Just a sad 10 minutes.
We're just talking, bro. No, but go ahead.
Okay, so all right, you talk about music, right?
Yes, a lot. Yeah.
What has been your biggest influence in your musical journey?
What has been my biggest influence? I would change that question to who, only because of like the person. The person who kind of he didn't introduce me to music, but I just looked up to him is my Uncle Chad. My Uncle Chad is a keyboardist, pianist, key bass player, and like that's someone I've looked up to for the longest time, still do to this day, because of how he carries himself outside of work, inside of work.
Yep.
You know, family man, and music. But like kind of watching him create is something that I've always just wanted in my life, because it's like he looks so free, he looks so happy, he looks so in tune in what he's doing, and that's something that I've always just wanted in my life, especially as a kid. But then kind of seeing how he is able to put what he feels, whatever into music, and like it becomes a language, because then you also have to understand how he's speaking it, right?
Yep.
So it's like through every note, through every bass line, through every drum, through every snare, it's a language, and like that helped me understand who he is. And then kind of applying that to myself helped me a lot, because I don't feel like I have to use something to feel a certain way. Like I can just go straight to music and create. And he kind of helped me understand that, although you may not know that, but Olga Chat, if you do watch this, yeah, you help me understand how big creation is, because it literally forms your feelings, and then you get to create feelings for people to understand.
Yep.
So he is one of my biggest inspirations when it comes to music. And who else can I say? Not a who, but what is like. I'm really big into music scores, so like music that is for movies, because like if you were to take all the music away from movies, like, and just play it mute, you'd be like, well, this is a boring movie, like this is just stupid. But like you see how you really have to create an idea, a feeling, to get people like scared, to get people excited, to get people like, oh, like it's crazy that music makes you feel, or can make you feel, a feeling. And that's something that I love to do, is like make people feel a feeling. And like that's why I really got into videography and photography, because like when and if I do make a visual album or a visual EP, whatever, I want to shoot all my stuff and then create like music to what I see, because then it's like, wow, like you really understand that this tree and this leaf that's falling down, like that's a feeling that you could feel, and you know, like small stuff like that. And yeah, I think just because music is, that's the word I was looking for earlier. Music is so universal. That it allows people to connect in so many different ways. So I would say that those inspirations are what helped and catapult me to where I'm at now. So
damn, that's awesome, man. Shout out to Unc.
Shout out to Uncle Chad, if you're watching this.
Shout out to Unc. For sure.
So this is question number 3 for me. Okay.
And then I've already finished, so
okay.
This is gonna be the finishing question for the finishing dish.
Okay. Bet. Woo! This man is that's a bar, by the way. Anyways, so here we go. Question number 3. And then we'll do the second part going into outside. Do you want to eat outside, or do you want to?
We could eat outside, yeah.
Okay. So question number 3 for this part 1. Question number 3, part 1. Besides help and advice, what do you need to ask for, or what do you need to look for when you're choosing to open up into someone?
Just ask. Well, repeat that question one more time.
Yeah. So because like people regularly, like, you know, in order for them to communicate or open up to somebody, they always ask for help or advice. But my question is, like, what do you think you need to ask for besides those two, or what do you look for when choosing to open up to somebody?
Whenever I try to open up to somebody, I usually ask them about themselves, and like I try to get an understanding of the type of person they are before I open up to them, because I'm not going to open up to somebody who doesn't want to be opened up to. I would say time and place is a really big factor in opening up to somebody. I look for, you know, like who they are. Like, I want to confide in someone who's going to listen if I'm going to open up to somebody, someone who's understanding. A lot of people just look at you when you try to open up to them like okay, like,
right.
Like, what are you talking about? Like, like I get your feelings, but like they're probably not in the same mindset, not in the same state that I am. So someone who's a great listener is like for example, like your partner your partner is supposed to like be there for you, be able to listen for like to you, for you, and just be there for you in general. And I would say I don't really confide into a lot of people that I don't know unless like I really trust them. So trust is a main factor, and also just like your relationship should always be the person that you confide your emotions into, and tell them everything and anything, because those are the people who are going to be, that's the person that's going to be there when you're sad, when you're mad, when you're angry, when you're happy, for your accomplishments. And you get to confide into a person, and that person is willing to listen to whatever you're going through. And like being able to confide in somebody doesn't also mean that like you need advice from them. They're just there to listen because you want to vent. You don't really need to say anything sometimes, and sometimes it's better that you don't say anything, so that they understand that you're not judging them, you're not critiquing them.
There's little kitty cat beside me.
Cisco came in the scene, but yeah. But to answer your question, that's
and
kind of
like
how I feel.
To go off of that, like, besides help and advice, like, what do you usually ask for, like, when you do open to somebody? Because, like, a lot of people just like, hey, I need help with this, or hey, can you give me advice on this? But like, going even deeper into that, like, what do you usually ask for, or what do you need to ask for?
Yeah, I usually ask for advice on like financial things.
So without advice and help. So I mean, like when I'm asking the question, I'm asking like, since help and advice are like the two main things.
Yeah.
What do you specifically need for yourself to feel like well, now I can open up to you. So I need this from you. I need attention. Okay. I need time. I need.
Yeah. So I would say time is a big thing. I don't understand the question. So like
I know it's the way I worded it was so weird.
Just like people giving you advice, or like what advice people give you.
No.
To make you confide in them.
No. So like I'm saying, if you take out help and advice, so those are out the window.
Yeah.
What do you need to ask for you to open up to someone? So like, like when you're having a regular conversation with people, it's like, well, I need you to understand this about me for me to open up to you, or I need time with you to understand from, more that, if that makes sense at all.
Okay. So yeah, I would say without help and advice from someone, I would say to open up to them, I would have to, tell them what I'm going through in that moment.
Yeah. Yeah.
So whatever I'm going through in that moment is like, oh, we're done cooking anyways.
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay. But in those moments, it's like, let's say I'm at a bar and I meet someone new and we're talking, and I want to open up to them in some type of way without asking them for help or advice. I want to, put myself in, their shoes so that they could put themselves in my shoes, if that makes any sense.
Exactly.
So asking them questions, follow-up questions to like lead into the conversation that could lead to me opening up to them. So I would say putting myself in someone else's shoes would probably be a big factor to that.
And that's something that we don't do as people, because like, let's go back to money, right? So how money creates status. We never understand how people are dealing with their, real life time. So it's like, really understand what other people are going through. I'm sorry. But that completes part 1 of episode 16. So we are going to migrate to outside, and I'll see you in the next video.